From a distance, it was difficult to tell if the sun was gaining satisfaction from its daily work of bringing light, heat, and life, or just going through the motions as it counted down the hours until it could disappear, open a bottle of red, and slump in front of the telly. Whatever its attitude, it still did good shimmering. Anyone standing on Bullford Point's jetty, and there were currently 2 people, both smiling peacefully as they tried to murder fish, would see rays bouncing and flickering off the water in ever-changing patterns that would both intimidate and inspire even the most self-assured landscape artist. Up the slope away, the sun attempted to raid a 2-story brick house that nestled into the hillside, surrounded by trees and ferns protecting it like a president's security guards. Most beams were blocked, but a few were able to sneak across the generous balcony that hung imperiously over a vibrant garden, scuttle through gaps in the blinds shielding the glass doors, and illuminate a tidy, comfortable living room. Drawn curtains proved a formidable obstacle to the main bedroom, but several of the most highly trained elite rays slithered through tiny gaps to reach 58-year-old Barbara Young, lying alone in a bed built for 2. Did they pause to examine her peaceful, sleeping, round face, noting her small nose and slim-lipped, friendly mouth? Did they recognize their creator's work in her tanned cheeks? They did not. Traveling at the speed of light doesn't leave much time for careful observation. They simply barreled forward and tapped her eyelids. Barb's eyes flickered open. Her arm reached instinctively across to the vacant half of the bed, feeling for someone who wasn't there. She sighed and ran through the day's tasks. Quick breakfast, 2 coffees from Sue, pick up Joe, drive to McMaster's, oil the Nadan's front deck. Barb had worked alone for many years. She liked it that way. However, a few weeks ago, in an effort to support Joe Griffiths' attempt to replace his murky past with a bright future, she had offered him some part-time work as her helper. She was surprised by how much she had come to enjoy his company. She remembered him as a feisty boy, always able to reduce the amount of trouble he was in with his magnetic likability. She hadn't seen him during his 6 years of addiction in Sydney, but the post-jail and rehab version of Joe was still likeable, cheeky, and funny, albeit more wary, weathered, and tattooed. Even though the life lessons and philosophies he shared, "One day at a time, Barb. Gotta keep busy so my mind doesn't start wandering," sounded like regurgitated cliches. They appeared to be working. It had been 6 weeks now, and he had been reliable, punctual, engaged, and, as far as she could tell, drug-free. Mentoring might be putting it a bit highly, but helping him restore his life by giving him the opportunity to feel the satisfaction of a hard day's work made her feel good. And, if she were honest, and she did try to be, his company had come at an ideal time. She had gradually adjusted, although it hadn't been easy, when her only child, Julie, moved to Melbourne 12 years ago, firstly to study economics, returning home for ever-diminishing periods in the holidays, and now forging a career in the finance industry, whatever that was. The more recent and far bigger surprise had come 4 months ago when Dennis, her husband of 31 years, had told her he had met someone and was leaving. She eventually prized out of him that he had met this someone 3 years ago when she had started work at his accountancy firm, and had actually been seeing her for 9 months, which probably meant a year and a half. Barb had been completely blindsided. How had she missed the signs? She was wary of wallowing, so quickly reminded herself that she was alive, healthy, and lived in a beautiful part of the world. Surely that was enough. Did it really matter that not much excited her at the moment? Quickly, before she had time to wrestle with that question, she grabbed her tortoiseshell glasses from the bedside table and got up.